Hey, what's up, Armen?
Hello, brother. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, bro, I'm at the ferry terminal.
Oh, how's that going?
It's good. I just dropped Udbav off. He's on the 1 o'clock ferry. There's an oceans hackathon going on this weekend, and he's heading over there to make us all proud, you know?
Right on.
Yeah.
Wish him best for me as well if he's still around.
He is gone.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put a bunch of these note takers in the waiting room. It's so funny. I need to start actually probably making a real waiting room so I don't have to do this every single week and then just letting in the real people.
I'll be back in just one quick second.
Yeah,
Just
no
one.
problem. We're just gathering.
Awesome.
I see Daniela made it though. That's cool.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up, Daniela?
doing well. I'm doing well. I've been
Good.
enjoying the fall, by the way.
You've been enjoying the fall? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Did we miss you at the at Mac this week?
Mac. I think maybe I don't know. I have such a hard time with Luma sometimes
Yeah. Yeah, it can be a pain.
because it would tell me that there's something happening sometimes, but maybe not.
That's a pretty fancy office chair you got there, Armin.
Yeah, it's a gamer's chair.
Nice. Are you a gamer?
Uh, I try to be. Honestly, when I compare myself against the kids, man, it's yeah, there's something else, but I try from here and there. Yeah,
What are you
man.
playing?
Right now we are doing Fortnite for the
Of course.
Halloween. Yeah, the Halloween version.
Hey, what's up,
Uh,
Michelle?
sorry.
I just said hi to Michelle.
Oh, oh, hello, sir. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
I actually just sent you a invitation, a LinkedIn invitation request. So thank you so much for. It was a pleasure meeting you last week. Looking forward to staying in touch with you on LinkedIn as well. Thank
That
you.
reminds me, I should grab that LinkedIn list that I made this week and drop it in this chat here today when we're hanging out. I made a list. It's only got like 50 of us on it so far. I used AI to scrape it from my welcomes, how I welcome everybody on the chat. I scraped it with AI, but it got like 50 of them. So I'm gonna have to try to piece together other few.
Awesome.
Yeah. 50 new friends. How's things going with your company there, Armin, with your new little project?
Oh, okay. So just a very quick update on that. So I met with two individuals. They both want to jump on as potential co-founders. They really liked the presentation. And then I met with a friend of mine who is a digital designer from way back when I used to be at PMC Sierra, which is now Microsemis. And him and I chatted a long time, and he goes, "Man," he goes, "HR world is boring." He goes, "You gotta spice it up." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree." So we ended up meeting the entire day yesterday, which is why I was off. Well, new vision for what was called Talent Now, and now it's going to be called HirePop. So HirePop, and the pop is going to reference popsicles, soda pops, like the fun environment. And then we put a design together, and it was. I was like, "This is it. This is what we've been trying to do." And it's exciting. You know, honestly,
I'm
Chris,
glad
I
that
gotta thank you.
you seem like you're doing a really good job of like practically moving it forward, but I also love that you're not like super precious about it right now. Like you're still flexible with it, like even that it's morphing and changing because it is a young idea and you've gotten some fast traction, but um it's very easy. I'm pretty confident thinking that however you envision it now probably won't be how it actually looks by
Of
the time
course.
you're done, or something like that. So
Absolutely. And that's I think that's the trick to most of our success. Number one, understanding our limits, knowing that there's so much we can do, but there's also a lot that we need help with. So that's part of my professional maturity journey, I guess,
Yeah.
over the past few decades. Honestly, I can never do anything on my own. It has to be with other people's support, and you've been a big player of it. Number two is being agile and understanding that
Yeah, man.
okay, things are not going to be the same, just like you said. So being able to maneuver around and say, okay, well, what makes sense? But honestly, like in about an hour, I'm meeting with David Monty from SparkJoy, and he heard about it and he's all excited. And so we are going to put together a board of an advisory board, which I'm going to reach out to you, and I want to reach out to Zaro as well. And because I love his ideas about gamification, I want to see if I can,
Yeah, man.
uh, yeah, get him on the board. So yeah.
Hey,
Anyways,
well, let me just take a moment to say welcome to everybody. Hey, there's some new folks here. What's up, Matt Lambert? Nice to see you, bro. Kevin just joined up a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday. Rob, nice to see you around here. Finn, cool to see you at Mac last night. You seemed very contemplative as usual. But it was an excellent event last night. Maybe just by introduction, I'll say what Armen was just doing is a lot of what happens here. We kind of, I usually say a few things about what's been going on because not everyone has visibility into all the different tentacles of the cool little organization we're building. And then a lot of times we go around and just ask people how they're showing up. And sometimes if they have something to share, like Armen's got this little startup on the grow. We can talk about that a little bit. And the last 2 weeks are in a row we've had kind of like special presentations. Last week was Proj Wall showing us how to use GitHub, and the week before that was Zaro showing us how to use Discord. So that was kind of fun, and I welcome others as well if they got something to share. Matt, if you want to walk us through your design system on a weekly call, next Friday or something like that, I can just tell you already there's a hunger and appetite for that kind of thing. So um that's kind of what takes place here. Hey, Daniela. And I guess I also just want to say, man, there's been a lot of shit going on, guys. Last Thursday was the AI and education meetup number 2 with Antonia at Ethos. There was like 50 people there. It was special, for lack of a better word. It was just sweet and awesome and collaborative and great conversation, and people, the thing that came out of it was they're like, yo, we keep talking about human-centered design and education. As a working group, let's figure out what the characteristics of human-centered design and education looks like so that we could point to it when we see it or evaluate, is this human-centered AI? So I thought that was cool. Like 2 meetings in, they've like adopted a group project, and are doing something together. Not them, we. And then Tuesday this week was Surrey meetup. Awesome. Matthew ran it excellent, brought in Itamar. It's growing. There was probably like 10 members from our membership there, and then like a whole bunch of other folk. Lots of youth, both the Schwartzman and both the Titieski teenagers were there. So that was like 4. And then Lords brought her son, Elon, who was like 19 or something. And that I love that. I love that. And that actually got, and between that and then Finn, who's got a youth of his own, who's interested in robotics and AI, Finn was like, yo, I'd love to make a small donation to the org for just being helpful and stuff or whatever. Thanks, Finn. And I was like, I don't like to do anything as a one-off. So I'm like, instead of just giving him an email address where he can send $20 to, how about I just throw together a little donations page using one of those cool tools? And that was fun because I spent like half a day like finding youth graphics from our meetups and actually getting consent from all the youth to be a part of the program. And then I showed it to Armen, and Armen's like, yo, you should get some testimonials from those guys on there. And I asked, and then I'm like, Armen, will you just run this youth program? What did you say? Actually, I haven't read the message yet. Did you say yes?
I said let's chat about it. I'd love to definitely help out for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just like a $2,500 goal where we have a tiny little youth scholarship fund, because I already give away tickets and different people sponsor them kind of behind the scenes and stuff, but just like kind of formal. And like I gave Udbav $100 from our account because he's going over to the hackathon, the Oceans Hackathon in Victoria this weekend to represent BCAI, and he's got a handful of stickers and his BCAI shirt on and stuff. So like it's cool to be able to help. And like Projwall, always gets like 3 or 5 free tickets for him and his friends, and they add so much to our community. And so just formalizing that in a way of allowing people who have means and the desire to do something cool to connect the dots between our youth community and stuff. So that's another little percolation that's happened in the last few days. And then finally, before I turn it over, last night was Mac, the Mind, AI, and Consciousness meetup. 20 people who are willing to meet Loki's criteria of doing certain readings and showing up on time. And we have a really academic reading group. Last night we were talking to them about like theories of consciousness and if AI is a philosophical zombie, if it, and just these different ways of looking at uh human experience and human consciousness in the age of synthetic consciousness and AI. It's a really cool group to be part of and pushes my edge to like I got to do the readings too. If I pay my dues to the membership, I do my readings for Mac. I'm a part of this like everyone else's type thing. And so anyway, that's a little oh, and then we've sold like 120. Hey, Dimitri, 120 tickets for the Vancouver AI meetup on the 29th. You guys all get a discount code. I'll drop that on the chat. And then also I dropped yesterday a Haffy code. If you ever want to bring a friend, and it's their first time, use the Haffy code. Or if you need anything regarding all that, just hit me up. Oh, and then finally, our partners at Meta Creation Lab, Philippe Pasquet's lab at the School of Interactive Art and Technology at SFU, they've been doing a month long. This is the second year in a row. They've been doing a month long residency where they bring a French researcher over from Paris and they do a residency at Philippe's lab in partnership with us. And then they do a showcase. So the showcase is next Friday in Surrey at the School of Interactive Art and Technology. I invited some of you last night. I built the invite late last night and sent that around, but that's one other thing that's going on. It's an art performance and it's a PhD lecture about generative creative technology and art from this guy called Thomas Kuhn. Um, yeah, so lots of fun grassroots AI stuff going on here. Let's take a quick spin. This is not your chance to go deep, but 30 seconds, how you're showing up and what's on your mind. Finn, how you showing up?
Yeah, hi. I thought it was a very good meet at Mac yesterday, and just as a teaser, Loki's was talking to me last night about synesthesia, and he wants to do a deep dive on how people see like different letters of the alphabet as having different colors or different sounds associated with them. So it'd be kind of cool.
I'm curious about that. It feels like one of those things that like I had never heard of, and now everybody has it.
I'm quite jealous of it, actually. It sounds really cool. Um, and yeah, I'm glad to hear about the youth thing. It's a good move forwards, and looking forward to seeing it kind of develop into a bit
Yeah.
more stuff going.
I mean, this is a good chance for me to say too. My goal by end of next year is I actually want to have like a nest egg put away in an account that is like our trust, and we can like scholarship a student every year or something like that. Like it
Yeah,
seems reasonable. We're growing. We're Udbob just before he got out of the car said we just hit our 99th paid member. We're growing. We've got, we're not spending any money yet except for like software and stuff like that. So like let's put a little scholarship fund together or something like that. There's so many interesting youths in our community and we're here to make something more out of what we have when we come together. And so I don't know. I think so I'm not like actively pursuing that. We're just gonna hit this $2,500 goal for this year for now, but that'll allow us to cover student comps and stuff. And then someday we'll have the scholarship fund.
yeah.
That'll be good. Hey, Matt, how you showing up, man?
Man, 30 seconds. I'll do my
Whatever,
best.
it's soft. I keep blabbering over here.
I have a lot on the go at the moment. Yeah, I'm working with a couple startups in
Will you
the
even
Bay.
just introduce yourself a little bit, just because I think that
Yeah,
you're new to these calls?
for sure. Yeah, so my name's Matt. I'm a designer. I've been working in Vancouver for like, I don't know, I guess I'm at 25 years now working in design. Um, I work with a lot of startups down in the valley, on like early stage stuff primarily across different domains. The last few years, like blockchain NFTs. Now I'm working with a security company that's building like using agents for monitoring all of their data and environments and like alerting and that kind of stuff, which has been some pretty interesting stuff we've been doing now for the past year. But I'm also working with a startup up here in Vancouver that does like route management for like last mile delivery. But yeah, outside of that, like I keep myself busy with like art projects as well as, I always like to be on the edge of, the latest, whether it's like blockchain for a long time and now into AI and whatnot. And yeah, Zaro and I have been screwing around with like AI music and stuff too. That's been pretty fun as like a way to, have a break, I guess, from regular work. Um, but yeah, we're cooking up something. We're gonna start
I
working
love
on some
Zaro, man. I feel like
songs
he's
together.
my spirit animal in some
Yeah.
ways, dude. Like I just love everything that he's up to. I got to see him last night at Mac, and I went and picked up my seat, and moved across the room, sat next to him, and like even though we're just sitting there and quiet the whole time, I wanted to be close.
Yeah.
But today he's doing like an agentic coding workshop, or he would be here. But yeah, that guy's rad.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
you
I'm
tell us
waiting.
about your design system real quick, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. So back in May, like I started working on like, lots of experience, but like my general vibe and how I work is like very instinctual and very like I guess yeah, just like going on like feels a lot. And I wanted to start to put more of a framework around that so I could make decisions in a more intentful way. I guess like going through like, success and failures and sometimes being like, why does it work sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work? And
Yeah,
like trying to like understand like why that happens and, try to make better decisions, I guess, in the design sense. So I started working with ChatGPT to kind of do some self-discovery and like things like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Clifton Strengths, but I'd done the Clifton Strengths um, exercise. It kind of reveals like certain aspects of your personality that you're strong. So I kind of fed all that into ChatGPT to like better personalize the output of like this is me. So like you how to like talk to me and also like doing additional exploration into like just teaching it about like how I work and how I think and my process and together we kind of developed like this framework that I've been working on which is essentially how I make decisions and I initially created it as like I said more of a way to put more transparency for myself into how I make choices and to make better choices and as I was doing it I'm like this is something other people might also find useful. So I started to kind of build like a website around it, and I've been writing a lot about it on my Substack and releasing like some basic tools, like so others can learn how it works, and if they choose, they can pick it up and try it out. And yeah, it's still like a project in motion. Like I said, the most up-to-date stuff is probably on my Substack. But yeah, I'm kind of like
yeah.
trying to get it to a point in the near future here where I feel like this is kind of the V1 release of it. I feel good about it. There's enough context for people to understand it, pick it up, and play around with it without like, needing a ton of additional instruction. So that's kind of my goal at the moment.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to add, I've been following along and watching, sharing it a couple times and stuff. And for folks like Armen and some of you other guys that are like starting new things, Matt's been modeling that really good job of building in public. Like before you're sure of something, before you're at V1, he's iterating, he's releasing little bits, he's kind of teasing other parts out, and really just kind of like authentically exploring this idea in public with the other people who might be attracted to it and stuff, and people have been attracted to it, and that's enriched your ability to explore the idea and deliver
Yes.
it in.
I'm glad you said authentically because one of the things I kind of got into it and I realized, before I just push out like some other thing, I wanted to like really speak to my principles, like how I design. So I actually did this deep exercise again with ChatGPT to like, what are my core like personal principles for design, but like kind of generally life as well. Like I put myself into it. And the ones that came up were authentic reduction, modularity, emergent, and nonlinear.
Mhm.
Um, so those might sound a bit philosophical. I won't go into but the point is that by kind of doing that work first, I was able to kind of bleed that into the system. And a big part of that is, yeah, let's build in the open. Like this is an authentic thing. It's not like, oh, I'm just like another person like trying to like pitch a framework
Well,
and
that's the
to
thing.
like
It allows it to be kind of gentle too, because it's not like a explosive thing. It's like a methodical, kind of gentle kind of thing, And so anyway, it's allowed me to get to know it in a way that yeah, respect. And I think it's a good model. I wish kind of more people would uh
take
deliver
your
their
time.
deliver
Take
their
care.
awesome to the world in such way. Hey, Kevin, welcome to the show, man. How are you showing up today?
Hey, yeah, so just a little quick thing about me. Been doing game development and UX in games for 15 years. For the past year, I was doing an AI startup on my own, trying to gamify nutrition. Gonna probably start winding that down. In the past,
Kevin said to
maybe
me when
almost a month.
I dropped his link to Google Ad Monster on the thing when I introed him the other day. He's like, huh, well,
Yeah,
maybe it's starting to start winding that down. Like,
yeah. Um, I've been working with a medical AI SaaS company for the past month. Been really interesting just because some of the like fundamental ideas of like what we're both doing are so similar. It's like
hmm.
get AI to turn unstructured data into structured data and then pull insights from that. So that was kind of cool. Uh, Mostly been trying to get them up to speed with all the MCP stuff.
Mhm.
So
The
trying
information
to,
about.
oh,
Oops,
go ahead.
sorry.
Someone
Yeah.
had a mic problem.
Yeah, just trying to hook up their design, Figma files into MCP and kind of refactoring what the previous designer did. So yeah, it's been kind of my month
No
lately.
one can ever say MCP without me clicking for more info. So you're using it
Yeah.
to do Figma to what? For
Yeah.
like Claude to Figma?
So right now, like the previous wires that they had were kind of more like an Illustrator file.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've kind of been doing everything manually by hand, which is kind of interesting because they're like a medical AI company.
Yeah.
But for sure, the way they're building is so different from like my startup, like hacking, just whatever. They're very locked down. So hopefully it's merging a lot of their code into some of the Figma descriptions so that we can hopefully get Claude code to pull in the right components when we're bringing over wires. But at least this point, like, the CEO and the front end developers might be able to just reference the file without having to, I don't know, build it by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some of them really want to build by hand. So,
Oh man, that's so
it's a different conversation.
I am always so
Yeah.
intrigued when I also hear, now you've captured my imagination again, this idea of like using Claude code to bend old Illustrator files into a Figma world. Is that kind of what you're saying?
No. Like the guy that built it in Figma, he kind of built it like it was an
Oh, okay.
Illustrator file. So
Yeah.
everything's like rectangles, text boxes. So I had to go in there and turn everything into components and help.
Cool. How long have you been using Claude code?
Retrofit that stuff. I've been using it for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
I bounce between that and ChatGPT and Cursor.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Yeah.
There's a new feature coming for Figma soon to go the opposite direction, where if you like generate in Figma Make, like say a design system or a layout or whatever, you can actually shoot it back into like it can extract the components back into Figma too, which would be like super handy. I've been working with the developer who's actually quite good at doing this stuff, so feel free to like ping me on Discord or whatever. I can put you in contact if you want to have someone else to talk to about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice, man.
Sorry, can you ask Kevin why he's winding down the business? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. It's been going at it for about a year, and then getting funding was a bit tough. So it's kind of like one of those probably don't have enough runway to keep going. But right now it's like, gonna pull some contracts to keep the lights on. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to quickly share. Actually, for the startup that with Chris's blessing, I started. There's a guy that reached out to me from North Vancouver. His name is Afshin, and he's apparently a serial investor in AI specifically. So if you want me to put you in touch with them, I don't know if I'm going to use them. Truth be told, so I'm always a little hesitant with investors and how much ownership they want to take, but if you want to have a conversation with them, happy to put you in touch.
Spin that cycle up again there.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey Rob, how's it going, man?
Doing well, Chris. Thank you.
Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you all. For those I don't know, I'm Rob Arthurs. I'm a certified business coach and a consultant, but also a serial entrepreneur. I've had 16 different companies. I still operate 4 today. On the AI side, Chris, I've been in the background. I've been working on a conference called the Future of Living Conference, which is a spin-off of the Canton Fair in Guangzhou, China. But what we've done is taken the AI and the smart city, smart home living out of the Canton Fair with the organizers of the Canton Fair in Guangzhou, and we're bringing it to Vancouver. So we will have in next fall, September, we're just securing the VCC right now. We'll have AI, clean tech, robotics. Part of my team right now is in Shenzhen, bringing a robotics store to Vancouver, which is very, very interesting. But I've got the blessing from the provincial government as well as Investment Vancouver. And
Hey,
so this thing's plowing ahead. We'll have 1,000 exhibitors. And then on the other side of that, we're working with a lady named
holy
Madam.
smokes, Rob. That's a big thing, man.
Well, it is, and then Chris, it's because of these cool people. I mean, we got this lady named Madam Wu. Can you imagine that? I've never met Madam Wu, but she's a gazillionaire. She built 580,000 square foot warehouse in Surrey. Phase 1 is finished. She will take those 1,000 booths that exhibit at the Future of Living Fair and put it as a 365-day a year exhibition in Surrey in that warehouse. And it is just phenomenal, but everything is AI and robotics focused. So I'm going to engage you in this, Chris, somewhere in the future once I get where it's not so up in the air, where I've got a
Yeah,
little more
yeah. You're at
solid.
the concept and vision stage, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
So when the fire hoses have got a fireman on it, I want to see how I can engage you on that for sure. And then, of course, I'm working very closely with FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, you're
In
always
on
cooking up some big shit out there at Granville Island, right?
Yep, yeah. And so, Chris, if you got some time next week, I'll send you a couple of appointment dates to meet with myself and George Moen,
Yeah, man.
and
I
see
look
how
forward.
we can engage you in that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm into it. Um, I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be in Calgary next week, and there's some fluctuations in the whole situation, so I'm unable to tell anyone where I'm going to be next week at the moment. So,
Okay, well, you know what? If you want to push it to the following week, Chris, we're
no,
okay with that.
if you'll just hang with me for a minute, like just I'll let you know in the next 24 or 48 hours. Just
Okay,
bear with me.
perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, man. Who else we got here? Hey, Dimitri, are you in a place you can say hi?
I am certainly, I think any place is where I can say hello from. How's
Great.
everybody doing? I don't want to turn my camera on
No problem.
for confidential reasons, but I am,
Mysterious.
for those, I think I know many of you guys, and we had an amazing, very small but amazing AI event in Surrey this past weekend or past week, where a lot of exciting friendships have occurred, and we've learned some amazing things. And it was great to see Armen and Chris and some other people there. I've
Matthew
for
and
those of
Itamar, Matthew and Itamar sure did a good job, and it was nice to have Eliza and Noah back.
absolutely, and you had Dean who was willing to sponsor them for whatever that thing that you've
Oh yeah, Dean Chev. I should mention that because it's pretty cool. So Dean Chev, when we first opened up the BCAI membership, he bought one of the 5 packs just because he's a nice guy, supportive like that. And he gave one to his business partner Darren, and he kept 3. Then he gave one to Projwal because so Projwal could join the membership. And then he gave one to Noah Titievsky and one to Eliza Schwartzman. So he's used up his 5 pack. He gifted 3 of them to youths in our community. I just thought that was such a cool move. So thanks, Dean. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as myself, I'm trying to keep my mind fresh with the new AI stuff. I come from computer graphics background, and it's been real estate for the last over a decade. So I'm using whatever I can tools within the real estate industry for my clients, and now there's starting some conversations with people that are asking for me to maybe do some courses on how certain AI elements can be used for realtors so that they get educated and start using it as well. That's just in talks now, but I think there's going to be some big value
I highly
from that.
recommend that, Dimitri. I think I even chirped in your ear once that you already know enough to teach other people. I think when you were going to some when one guy was doing his real estate meetups, I was like, you should be doing these too, man. Like you got the juice. Yeah.
Well, and I maybe understand a little bit about it, but enough to kind of help other people. And if the time allows, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's great. Well, thanks for making, I know that you're always real committed to joining us and stuff. And so thanks for being here, my friend.
Always a pleasure.
I'm gonna throw to Tanya, who I see hiding out here, and I've noticed Imran's here, so we'll let Emmy go after Tanya if she wants to say hi. Give us a little update.
Hey, so I'll be off camera. I'm just checking in. I'm going to be meeting with Zaro next week to start talking about building some frameworks and policy for volunteering and what that's going to look like both from sort of like an adult perspective, but especially with youth. And so we're going to do a bit of brainstorming on that next week. I've also connected with Yemi, who I know is at her exhibition today in London. Her and I are going to be bouncing off each other. I'm going to be supporting her with some of the business side of her current endeavors. Her and I got together and walked through what she's working on, which is absolutely, unbelievable in terms of scope. So being an artist myself and also an entrepreneur, we had a lot of great synergies. So her and I are starting to look at how we can collaborate and support each other, and that's super exciting.
Makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, I'm just showing up and bringing what I've got to the table and looking forward to seeing how things continue to evolve.
Well, last night what you brought to the table at Mac was a nice plate of corn chips, which was really, I wanted to say thanks for looking after me. And also I had a really good time last night. It was just a really sweet conversation. We had lots of good laughs and stuff. And yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, Mac is such a gem to me in my life. It brings so much depth and just depth and richness in terms of thinking about who we are, why we're here and what we do. And I'm right there with you, Chris. It's like one of the things I really look forward to each month now.
I quietly said something like, oh, it pushes me to be better or something like that earlier. But specifically what I mean is I hadn't read a book in probably 10 years until this last month. And I had to read Blindsight for this thing. And I loved it. And it was great. And I'm a multifaceted creature and I should flex all my different muscles, not just the ones that are well honed or whatever. So it was, thanks for being a part of the positive peer pressure that's got me reading again.
Yeah, me too. I actually listened to Blindsight, but it had been a while myself, so I'm right there with you.
And there's nothing like hanging out with you all, and Michelle's included in that, and Finn's included in that, and Armen, that makes me, I have to read 20 books a year just to be able to go to cocktail parties with you guys. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
It was a great session. I'm excited to see where we keep going with different topics. And of course, with Loki, I really hope he just moves forward with sharing what he's going to be presenting in April. So, looking seriously at also going down for that too.
Well, we should all talk about that because I'm ready to commit. So there's an AI and consciousness event in Arizona next April, and Loki and Suzanne Gildert from our community went this year and presented, and they got it. And Loki's going to be presenting next year. So anyway, a bunch of us from BCAI are probably going to.
Yeah, I think that'd be super fun.
Ragtag team and meet up down in Arizona and go to this thing together next year. So.
Yeah, and last note before I pop off is around the AI awards this year. What's the scoop there? Are you still thinking about wanting something post dinner? I know you and I touched on that briefly, but
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you brought this up because it's been causing me some anxiety, and this is the place to get those things out. So, I've been thinking about the December meetup last year. It's our 1 year anniversary. It's our 1 year anniversary, it's 2 year anniversary, it's our anniversary month. So last year we flew in a performer from Montreal and we had a nightclub after party thing. It was fun. We had a bigger deal than we usually do. And then So I was thinking I wanted to do something like that again this year. And then because we're launching the association and you guys kind of know how I am, I'm putting these different like flags in the ground and stuff and trying to find different ways to lift everybody up. And one fun way to plant the flag and lift everybody up is having your own award ceremony. Like we don't got to go look to somebody else to figure out who the best of AI in British Columbia is. We can determine that, and so the idea was having something like a community nominated or whatever awards kind of industry awards or whatever, but and I've done a little bit more thinking than that. I've thought about some of the categories. I've thought about some of the judges that I can reach out to in my personal network. And like, I've thought about some stuff, but I haven't done a lot more than that. And so there's going to be a meetup in December as there is. It's going to be our biggest one. I'm suggesting that we do a BC AI Awards. I thought that might look, people like to dress up around Christmas time. I thought maybe we might sit down and have dinner and an awards show or something like that. And we could dress up or something.
Yeah.
So this is like, and that you can see why I'm happy that you brought it up, because I'm manifesting reality out of nothingness here. And so I can, if any of this resonates and people think it's a good idea or want to be a part of it or connect me with other folks, and I think we should do something like this. So that's where that's at.
I'd love to help with that, Chris. I mean, you know me, I'm a bit of a social, I like getting people together in real life and building connections that way. So yeah, if you want some help with that, we talked so briefly about my space at Parker, but I could see that, with the right planning and resources, it could be something super fun. And then just we'd have to nail down a location, obviously, and numbers for a dinner,
Right.
especially that time of year. So the sooner the better on that. But yeah, let me know. I mean, I think that would be interesting to see the response, and then like just in terms of how many members want to participate too. Like that's
Yeah.
Do we have any idea what that would look like? Are we talking about like 50 people, or are we talking about
Well, I mean,
250 people?
I mean, the meetups have 200 people at them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the one place that I investigated at the Space Center, they have a room that we can have dinner in, and they only wanted me to have 90 people. And then
Right.
you're like, well, is it more important to have a dinner or more important to have a thing where there's more people coming? And so I'm like, okay, I'm willing to let go of the dinner idea, but not the awards idea, to have all the people there, and maybe we move up into the dome or something, or I don't know. So that part's a little bit, I'm not sure about. And let's take the rest offline, because there's like a couple logistical snarls in my head that I would love to just like get, like, I'd love to charge, if it's a dinner, I want to charge more for it, but then I want to make it so it's accessible and members get some value out of them. Like, I got to think through the whole, like that part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because doing food stations might be another way to do it, so the cost is lower, but you're still getting like a great food and a good experience. And so I have a couple of vendors I've worked with in the past doing larger events.
I think this conversation is all I really needed to take the next step, which is we are doing awards. It's going to be in December during the meetup. It may or may not be a dinner, and me and Tanya will get back to you in the next little while with more info.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's about Michelle, I've noticed you're back. I'm going to throw to you next, but let me get Imran, because I think he just joined too. Amy, you there, buddy?
Hi, Chris. How are you? Thanks, everyone, for having me. So for those who don't know me, I basically have moved into Vancouver 3 years back and exploring opportunities over here. One of the things I have a background in finance and in engineering. At present, we're trying to fund a company who's doing AI hospitality for hotels in Toronto. The money is coming from the Gulf. And the other thing we're doing is we are trying to service a company in the Middle East, who's a consultant construction company with AI solutions from the region. And yeah, it's been exciting. I think me and Chris are having a talk this weekend on how to scape that further. But yeah, that's a bit about it.
Hey, Imran, do you have any commentary on the deal or the MOU that with the Gulf states that Minister Elvin Solomon just signed on behalf of Canada? Just as our resident kind of expert of the region, do you have any insight or commentary on that?
So the CEO of G42, which is also called Inception AI, is a childhood friend of mine, and I'm in touch with him. So G42 is a big group which is funded by a
So
giant
glad I
called
asked.
Mubadala, and I'm going to have a meetup with him. I'm flying to Dubai next month, and one of the meetings I have is scheduled with him to see what's happening. But they're trying to develop a large language model for UAE, and they're trying to roll out multiple AI initiatives for the government sector as well, because it's funded partly by the government. So a lot of money being moved around. Let's see how much lands up. But
Yeah, that was my
there's a lot
understanding.
of promise over there.
That was my understanding. The nature of the deal had to do with like Gulf states funding of Canadian data centers or something like that. I think that was kind of my understanding.
Yes. So
Mhm.
they have multiple companies, G42. One of them is Inception. The other one is the one which the article was posted about. And they are in charge of setting up data centers. So we'll know more. We'll update you
Yeah,
on
just
the
keep your
next
ear to the
call.
ground. You know, I have a real big
Yeah.
interest in that, having spent a little bit of time over there and with you kind of me and you've been chatting lately. So I've got my like feelers out, you know, about all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I welcome your opinions.
Yeah, UAE is big on moving the entire government structure onto AI. I think they have a goal of 2028 to do that. That's just pretty fast. And the fact that, they're having ChatGPT free for UAE residents, ChatGPT Pro. So things like that, they're really moving in initiatives to kind of spur that talk really fast. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of funding they're interested in as well. So just letting you guys know about that.
Yeah. Cool, man. I appreciate your insights. Mr. Michel.
Here I am. It's been a very interesting week. The Mac session last night was definitely very, very cool. We all read the book. Any details of that. But what I've been doing is I've been working on agentic AI, prototyping some new apps, finding new and nimbler ways to do similar things. It's somewhere between the leading edge and leading edge. All the new stuff, it never quite links up. I'm down at the granular level in the code, Google stuff with the Python. I'm using code generators and pushing them to get and VS code and much faster workflows. It used to take, with my older apps, it would take maybe 3 or 4 sessions where I'd be going. It's possible to get the stuff done. And where you try and make it, that's where it kind of breaks by looking.
I'm buying you a new microphone for Christmas.
It's funny. I was looking at the one that
Maybe I'll even buy you one today, because you have to know, man, you're very hard to hear all these calls. Every week it's the same.
Okay, good point. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
No, when you lean in, it's a little bit better if you had anything more to say. I like that. Yeah, there we go.
I've been having Zoom calls with people that met through extended contacts and meetups, and it's quite interesting to get new perspectives on things. All the apps and the technology have all moved forward so much, so now we're all scrambling again. So without cross-pollinating off each other, without finding out what's possible, we're leaving each other in the dark. So glad to help others too.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, thanks for being here. Daniela, did you want to give an update or say hello?
Hello. Well, my brothers aren't nearly as interesting as you folks. I've been mostly using an AI in my work, usually like creating representations of graphs and stuff like that for using AI embeddings, classical stuff. And on a personal note, I've been using it for language learning, and I've been thinking maybe about building something around that because it's very useful. You can create all sorts of things, and it's so good to support language learning in particular. So it's very good.
How you using it for language learning?
Like for example, you can have ChatGPT evaluate a test. Say you want to pass the TF. Well, you can have it evaluate the test. It's usually quite strict, to be honest. And you can also upload the manual from the test, the teacher manual for evaluation, and have it based off on that to evaluate your tests. You can also use the voice mode to talk in your target
Sure,
language.
of course, right? Yeah, nice. And what kind of tool might you want to build, or what kind of like thing when you said you're getting inspired?
Yeah, I'm getting inspired by it because there are a lot of like most language learning apps just suck. Duolingo sucks completely. I understand the deal with gamification and stuff like that. But it's so annoying and it's so repetitive because it's always the same phrases
Mhm.
and it's not nearly as natural as one learns. So I've been thinking about it about maybe generating material and stuff like that and using the AI to actively repair like go through concepts and stuff like that because like I said, Duolingo just sucks. I mean, all of the other things I've seen just suck. And then don't get you conversational. Like never. If you use Duolingo, you'll never get it anywhere with it.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here and thanks for sharing. We got like 15 minutes left, and it doesn't need to be structured. If anyone else kind of has some more stuff that as they go, as people been going around, they want to talk about, I'm just gonna stop talking, and other folks are welcome to hop in as they wish. Me and Imran are getting together on Sunday to talk about his stuff, but then there's this it's called like Learn, Laugh, and Love or something like that. It's like this 200-person event at the UBC Robson Square that looked pretty awesome even before they made me a speaker. But like I signed up to go and I shared it with some people, and then some other people were gonna go with us, and then they reached out and were like, "Yo, we had our keynote cancel. Will you take it?" So now I'm giving the keynote at this thing, but it's a free to us. They gave us free codes for BCAI. I put them on our group chat. Um, if people want to do something like that on Sunday, you're welcome to join.
Yeah, that venue is pretty cool. Huh? I've been there for another security meetup 2 weeks back, and it is huge. That's a pretty cool venue to be in. It
Yeah,
should be fun.
it's neat having like lived in Vancouver for a while because that was like ground zero for all the Olympic stuff during the Vancouver 2010
Right.
Olympics. So like actually Digi BC, who's one of our peers, had like a whole pavilion down there showing off all the immersive art of Vancouver and stuff. And yeah, I was working for the organizing committee doing social media monitoring dashboards, like early like pre-Hootsuite social media monitoring tools and stuff like that. And yeah,
Awesome.
time
Awesome.
flies.
So I've been just checking out this weekend more on my homework practically in this weekend is to check out more on large language models, more specific to different regions. What's been happening is obviously everything is being translated to English and then being generated, and a lot of different languages are now being developing their own large language model in their native form. So it can kind of give more meaning and sense to a lot of communication. And that seems to be an interesting journey, I think.
Have you
Lot of
have you
yeah,
used some like Arabic
yeah,
LLMs?
yeah. I tried. That's what I'm going to try this weekend. But I earlier, me and my team, we kind of jammed up and we used the English model to try the Arabic versions.
Right.
And Arabic has close to around 20 plus dialects, and they have different meanings for different words in certain states. So they just don't work. And
Right.
I totally resonate with that. So I think that's the next big wave that's going to come in, which is localization in that
I've been
space.
exploring this a little bit. Sorry, did I cut you off?
Yeah.
Oh, I think there's someone's got their mic on. I have this client called the SDECB, the Society for the Economic Development of Francophones in Canada, and I deployed Mistral for them, the French LLM, because it's natively bilingual or whatever. And also I just wanted to learn it. There was an opportunity, they needed something, and I had never used it before. And so that was just like in the last 3 weeks, I deployed some chatbots based and a knowledge base based on Mistral for a French client locally. But that's about all I know about that shit.
Yeah, so that's a great opportunity, right? For French, for Spanish, in this region especially. So I think that's the next wave that's going to develop.
But
For localizing.
there's not a Spanish native one that I'm familiar with. Like Mistral is like the fourth or fifth leading LLM. Well, maybe not with some of the Chinese models, but it's like a major foundational
Yeah.
model. And yeah, is there
So
a
that's the gap, right? That's the good thing about it. There
yeah.
is a gap in the market to kind of get into, and Arabic was one of those same things because it's a huge gap, and everybody's developing it, but really the skill set over there is a big challenge. The space, and the reason it's kind of difficult. So they're looking for international vendors to come in and help them onto that, and that's how the whole growth structure is started now as well.
Yeah, man, cool. Love the diversity of our little group, man. It's so interesting. We have so many interesting different people. Well, thanks for coming together doing these calls. I actually think they're a pretty important way for just folks to get to know each other informally, and you know, like I guess I'm trying to build the type of organization I always wanted to be a part of, I guess, and stuff. And so some of these things where it's like the community is disconnected or non-exist, I just want to be around other it there's so like kind of Michelle was maybe saying it, like there's so much changing all the time. I've heard like 5 things on this call I had never heard before, like the way Kevin's using Claude Code around the Figma MCP stuff and stuff Emmy's interested in. Even Matt's stuff keeps blowing my mind, and Michelle's long. So the only way I can feel any sort of stasis or like I'm not falling behind every second that I'm alive is by being in community with other people who are engaged in life, building shit, being creative, being kind. And I don't know. So anyway, that's what these calls are supposed to be, is just a chance for us to hang out, get to know each other and connect and support each other's projects. And yeah.
Hey, Chris, quick question for you. You're saying there are some funds. I wonder if it's those funds that could be used maybe to promote this channel.
Sure. I think you're okay. So let's talk about that. Sure. You want to talk about growth? Let's talk about growth. So every time I got a few hours, I reach out personally to my network of people who I know have said that they're interested in being part of the stuff that we're up to. And I'm like, hey, here's where we're at. I think I hit up Kevin yesterday. I was like, yo, dude, we're at like 95. He had previously said, keep me in the loop. And then like, I think 5 people joined yesterday because I had 2 hours to hit up a few people that had said they were. So it's like, before I start like blasting the bat signal, I kind of want to keep shoring up there's still a lot of low-hanging fruit work for me to do before we ask ourselves what would be the best way to spend money promoting, I think. I see. But I could be a little bit myopic here. I could this because it's also like an important time, and maybe it's an important time to grow fast, or something like that. But so there's just this like, man, I'm and I know you guys are fully supportive, and I don't need to, but I'm like, I'm doing my best to get this thing out as fast as I can, but also as real and as authentic as a way. Like, one thing that happened that probably you guys don't know, like during the very first month, or some of you might have seen on one of the channels, some guy started going all crazy about DEI and being a bit of a troll, and it was just, and it was fine. It resolved and it got worked out. I refunded his money and told him, that he wasn't good on the community agreements, but just to say that like there's also this tension between like fast growth and growing with these great vibes that we've established over the last 2 years and stuff. And so I want to grow as quickly as we can where every new member continues to add value. And I don't mind morphing as we grow, but I don't want to like change into something we're not or something like that. And so I want to so in that, like, probably when it is time to push the gas even more, my first thing would probably be to try to run some outreach thing with you all where I'm like, everyone who brings a friend next month gets a cool hoodie or something like that, because like y'all are like the best way for us to grow with people that we connect with values and who bring something to the table and stuff. So anyway, it's like totally an open group, obviously. And also I'm just trying to like hold its hand down the road so that when we get to the as we get farther down the road, we're still in love with the thing that we've become or whatever and stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully that kind of resonates or something, but that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Though, I mean, right, I can hold two ideas simultaneously very comfortably. My follow-up question would be, well, how do you think what would you suggest if I was gonna commit $500 to a growth channel, something? What do you think about it and get back to me, Dimitri? Like, what do you think would be the best way to do that? Because for right now, it's like I would rather just like support other people's events with $100 here and there, contribute. I came up with a new thing while I was falling asleep last night. I give free talks all the time, free keynotes. I'm going to start requiring they give $100 donation to the nonprofit. Now that we have it, we got to use it. So it's like, yeah, I'd love to give a free talk. You know what really helped me clear those dates up in my calendar is you making a donation to our nonprofit. So that's like one thing I'm going to do and that'll allow us to like sponsor other people's events. Or sometimes when I show up, I ask them to put our names in the literature or whatever so that we can get exposure. But I'm all about it as long as it feels like us and is authentic and yeah.
I think you're on the right path, right? Like the first step is similar into like the work I was doing, right? Like define your principles early and things like what you just mentioned, like attaching those principles to action. Like, okay, free talk, $100 to a nonprofit, that helps to like be true to your principles versus like, you see this in corporate world all the time. Oh, we need a mission statement or we need DNA. And it never actually is what the company operates. It's just like this like fake thing that and like everyone that works there knows that this is bullshit, right? So
fake DNA, that's so funny. I've never thought of that before. I mean, obviously I've thought of like the generate me a mission statement thing, but it's like corporate synthetic faux DNA.
No, it needs to come from the bottom up, like exactly what you're talking about. Like it needs to come from the grassroots. It needs to come from the bottom up and allow like organically grow based on the membership. And it's not an overnight thing. It's you have to put the work in kind of things. But yeah.
Even that's why I'm running the founder member drive all the way until the end of the year, because we're just brand new and this is going to seem like a drop in the bucket in the 5-year arc. And so, yeah, everyone who clues in within the first 3 or 4 months can join us as a founding member. January 1st, we start as real and go forward, whatever. And I don't know. I don't want to say numbers, but I guess I'd give myself a personal goal of like, I'd love to be 250 people by the end of the year. We're 100 now. I could see us being and that's just the core, our bigger, because everything that we do, and this is what's confusing to some people is everything we do, there's kind of a free path as well. Not to this particular call, but like we have our paid event, but we got free events too. We've got our free WhatsApp and Discord channels, but we've got members only ones too. And so I just feel most comfortable doing it that way. I really don't want to have too high of barriers. Just also because like I don't want anyone to feel bad if they don't got the resource. There's probably like as many people who have joined that are actually a part of our Vancouver AI network, people that we all know and hang out with every day that would love to be a part of all this, that they're just pinched for cash, and I don't want anyone to ever feel bad, or whatever. So
a scholarship model where we're creating a scholarship model for those types of individuals so that they can receive scholarships from the association to be able to become like full-fledged members so that there's accessible. I mean, it's like it's a great model and it's quite easy to manage if it's got the right structure, and I don't know, it's something to think about.
It totally is. And it like the volunteer program has always been like a useful outlet in that, like a high dignity outlet for that. So it's like if someone wants to come to the Vancouver AI events before our nonprofit existed and they don't want to pay or they can't pay for some reason, usually not if they don't want to pay, usually those people we figure out I make them pay half or something. But if they can't, or they're young or they're new, well, a lot of people I give free first timer tickets to. I give free half-hour codes to everybody here. And then anyone who's Indigenous, we always have 5 tickets for Squamish, 5 for Musqueam, 5 for Slate Tooth. Those are always like, but I don't like broadcast them, but about half of them get taken every time, something like that. And then the volunteer program right now, there's several, I don't want to name names or even, but the volunteer program traditionally has been a way for folks to come be a part of things without having to pony up cash or whatever type thing.
Yeah.
And so there's a variety of ways, and that's how I want it to be. I don't ever want it to be like, I mean, the idea is that if you got extra resources, we put them in the middle, build something awesome. If you don't, then you should benefit from that until such time as we lift you up enough and you can contribute as well or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a hand up rather than, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a world I'm really versed in. So I definitely would love to help with that. Scholarship development, scholarship programming, volunteer programming, all that stuff's my, the heart of like the professional work I've been doing for quite a long time. So I'm really, happy to step in and support with that.
Thanks everyone for this last 10 minutes of letting me spin this vision and the couple times I have along the way. It makes me feel a lot less alone in all this. And I look for the opportunities to get this stuff out into the world, but I never know exactly when and where and stuff. And so anyway, thank you. That brings us to time. I'll share the notes.
Thank you, Chris, for everything you do. I appreciate your work and that cool AI funding and grants paid. That was awesome. Great work on that.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we were just so you guys know, some of you probably do. Maybe Kevin doesn't, and because money came up, I just threw together like a 10-tier funding thing with Vanessa Sanchez earlier. It's just got federal grants, provincial grants, local grants.
It's so well done.
Loans,
so good.
Fucking everything that we could find. We spent a couple days using state-of-the-art AI tools 8 months ago to find all the things and put them together nicely. And,
bravo. Thank you.
Over now, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
Thanks,